Hello everybody, MorbTron here with more Anthem. Today we're going to talk about weapons, but not every weapon. We're going to talk about a very select few weapons that are very, very good in high-end content. And not because of the damage they do, but because of the damage they allow you to do. Let me explain. A lot of people think that weapons in Anthem, maybe they haven't played the game very much. They've seen streams, they're not to the end game yet. They think, oh, the weapon damage kind of sucks and doesn't scale up as much as, say, combo damage does, or what have you. And there's maybe one or two weapons that can compete at Grandmaster 1 and above for actually making use of their damage against targets. Well, raw weapon damage output isn't the only thing you can count on your weapons for. You can actually use weapons to both prime and detonate combos on your targets. Today we're going to be going over primers specifically. Now I have two of them. These two weapons I can confirm and say completely that these will prime targets. One of them even does it AoE, actually. The first one I'm going to go over is Rauner's Blaze. Ignites the target with a fire status effect on a hit of 5. I wish that it had the wording in there, ignites the target with a fire effect, because they have the room for it in the weapon description. But they just expect you to put 2 and 2 together and just know that when it says ignites the target, that it has a fire effect. So you have to hit your target 5 times in a row, so you cannot miss. With 5 projectiles from this weapon, they will light on fire. The roll that I have on this weapon is pretty good as well. If you can see there, 50% armor max, 20% armor max on the Javelin, 3% damage overall on my Javelin, and then the weapon gets an additional 25% damage. Pretty darn good. But the weapon damage itself is not at all why I like this weapon. I like it because it primes things with fire status effects. So I can kind of tweak my build around that and use maybe a double detonator ability set on, say, my Ranger, where I would usually have to have a primer and a detonator. You can say, you can use your melee on a Ranger, but not every situation allows you to go into melee range to be able to set off a combo. Sometimes that's just too dangerous to do, especially in Grandmaster 1 and above, where you might get swarmed by enemies doing so and get taken out and be a complete detriment to your team. Now the AoE weapon that I have here, it's a grenade launcher, so only your thick boy Colossus can use it. It's called Sentinel's Vengeance. Detonates an area of effect acid on a small hit streak. Now, the small hit streak on this weapon is 3. And the convenient thing about that is this grenade launcher shoots out 3 grenades at once. And since they're grenades, it's pretty easy to get a hit streak. Now, the area effect of the acid damage does not guarantee an acid status effect, unfortunately. It's not a 100% guarantee like Rauner's Blaze is, but it's so easy to spam grenades with this grenade launcher that it's going to happen within the 9 ammo that the magazine holds for this grenade launcher. There are 2 other weapons I want to talk about that I don't have, that I cannot confirm that they're primers. In fact, one of them might be a detonator, or it might just have extra damage. And we're going to look at these on this website called Anthem Archive. I'm going to have a link in the description of this video to this website if you want to check it out. It's a great resource for kind of looking up what items are in Anthem overall. Right now I'm looking at weapons only, masterwork only, and I'm sorting by rarity, but that doesn't matter because I'm only looking at masterworks. So the 2 weapons that I'm talking about are the Thunderbolt of Uvenia and the Divine Vengeance. We'll look at the Divine Vengeance first. Every 3rd weak point hit causes a large fire explosion. Now, I have a piece of gear on my Ranger that says causes a large fire explosion, and what it does is it just does fire damage in sort of a small area, very, very small area of effect, and it is not a primer nor a detonator. But I can't confirm that on this weapon because I don't have it. I'm only going to give you information that I can confirm from my own usage. So I'm just letting you know this weapon exists. It could be a primer, it could even be a detonator, but the wording isn't 100%. And we also have the Thunderbolt of Yuvenia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, has a % chance, which is random rolled when you get your item, to deal a large electric damage on hit. So you have a chance on projectile hit from this weapon to do a large amount of electrical damage. Now, I've heard, and I've seen on somebody's stream, that this is very, very good at taking out shields, but I don't know if it applies an electrical status effect, nor do I know if it even has a chance to apply an electrical status effect once the shields are taken down. I've only seen it being used to take down shields, and then that person switched to a different weapon, or they use their gear to take the foe down the rest of the way. So, back to what we're doing in the actual game itself. I'm going to show you a little build on my Ranger that I'm going to be using to kind of show off this weapon. Now, I'm using the only one that I can use. Obviously, I can't use a grenade launcher on my Ranger. I'm using Rauner's Blaze, and I'm using a detonator grenade, the last argument, which, of course, again, like I said, is a detonator. And for my assault launcher, I'm using Ember's Lance, which is neither a detonator or a primer. It detonates a small fire explosion on a hit streak of 3. Neither a primer or a detonator. Just does bonus damage. So we're going to take this into a free roam, and we're going to see the benefits of using a primer weapon. And right down there, we have a prime target to test out this weapon on. Now, I don't want to get close to that guy. He can hurt me. He does fire damage. It hurts a lot. It burns. But he's got a shield there. I mean, surely I can't damage him with this weapon, right? Oh, I can. I hit him 5 times in a row. It did 0 damage, but it still primed him, and he's taking damage. So I can throw a grenade, and now he's dead. I didn't have to worry about engaging him in melee or trying to fly over him to get around his shield. It might be easy to take these things out in a scenario where you have a lot of teammates around you, but let's say you're in a scenario where the rest of your team is off doing something else because you solo queued, and let's face it, sometimes when you solo queue, you get put in situations where you don't have backup. You're able to prime that target and do damage to it with your weapon without even getting close to it, without even bypassing the main defensive mechanic of that enemy. Now with this one here, once we get through its shield, it's gonna die before we light the thing. Oh, there's one that just spawned in. Perfect example. I don't want to get close to that thing. But now I have a fire status effect on it. And now I'm going to throw a grenade at it. And now it's dead. I didn't have to get up close to it to use my melee as a primer. This weapon allows me to use other abilities on my Ranger that I can still prime from a distance and have powerful abilities to both combo off of them or just do a lot of damage off of my wrist-mounted laser. I don't have to get into melee range to prime them. Not only that, but if I do want to get into melee range, I can then double prime them, so I can do electric and fire. So this weapon has a lot of potential for builds, especially on the Ranger, but other classes as well. Maybe not so much the Storm, but who cares about the Storm, right? I mean, it's just throws fireballs like nobody's business and can combo off of itself no problem. But not everybody likes to play the most overused class in the game. But if you found this video informative, or you found it entertaining, a positive rating by giving the video a like is greatly appreciated. And I do have to say, thank you all very, very much for all your support on the Anthem videos. It's been nuts. The amount of views and love that I've gotten from Covering Anthem has been great. I'm having a blast playing this game and covering it, so definitely subscribe if you want to see more of my Anthem content if you are new here. Also, if you are new here and you want to say hello, that's what the comment section's for. Say hi. I want to talk to you. Also, if you want to talk to me, link to my Discord is in the description down below, along with my Twitter. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody. And I'll catch you all next time. That was not nice, sir.